So yesterday, HBox was running a Street Fighter version of his Coinbox, which is an online tournament that he runs, that he organizes along with his organization, Liquid. And something happened during one of these sets that involved Punk to God, who brought it up on Twitter for most people to see. And if you saw it, you probably saw it from him first. He tweeted out, HBox, what the F is this? And it's basically on screen, under the two player names, you can see that for the pronouns of both players, they've been switched from whatever they were before to, what you can see here. It's pretty obvious that, Punk to God, who is black, he would be upset at this, right? Any person, obviously, you would come across, if you just join a random tournament and this is what you see, somebody set your pronouns as on the player screen, you'd probably think it was racist, right? You'd probably get upset. And rightfully so. Punk to God got really upset, and he took to Twitter saying, like I said, he said, HBox, what the F is this? HBox responded by saying, we're not really sure what this is. Obviously, HBox didn't do it. It was some random thing. They thought it was hackers at first, but what was found out is that eventually, digging through a bunch of really old tournaments, they found out that on Smash GG, or on Start GG, there was a really old Smash tournament called Heaven's Arena number 13, where somebody named Black Twins, who is also a Smash player, competed. And at this tournament, for memes, he decided to set those as his pronouns, and, you could see these were his actual pronouns throughout the whole tournament. He just wanted to meme and be funny, right? And apparently, in this tournament, if you go to the last set of the tournament, which was between him and Riddles, the tournament set was never concluded. It never ended. As you can see, it's like 400,000 hours going on this set, right? For some reason, Start GG just never closed the final tournament set. And for some reason, the layout that HBox uses for these tournaments decided to pull the information from this tournament and use Black Twins pronouns that he set for this tournament specifically for both players. As you can see, it not only has set the pronouns, it also changed the name of the tournament, which obviously, it shows the actual reason why these pronouns were changed to what they were. However, obviously, Punk to God was pretty upset after this, and he ended up tweeting out later on that he would never be supporting any Coinbox ever again. He said that he wouldn't support it no matter what. He thought it was super weird. He basically said, I don't care who's right or wrong. There's no way that could ever make it to a stream without anybody behind checking and nobody noticing for the whole set, basically. And yeah, he basically said, screw the Coinbox. And honestly, while some people may say it's an overreaction, it does kind of raise questions about the checking system that certain layouts have. Like, there is no real reason that this should ever get to a stream. Even if it was just completely random, that would mean that you would need to go back into the actual system itself and fix something, because, if imagine this had happened at like a bigger tournament like Evo, right? Imagine Liquid had partnered up at Evo to run a Street Fighter 6 tournament and this happened. It would be on a completely different scale. People would be a lot more upset, and then people would be understandably angry at this happening, especially if you're a player. So him saying that he doesn't support the Coinbox anymore and he's not going to, I think that, while, like I said, some people may think it's an overreaction, I think it's perfectly justifiable. If you feel that upset about something, clearly he does feel that way, and, that's completely fine. I think the biggest problem about this whole thing is that, at the end of the day, what's done is done. HBox responded accordingly and said at first, they thought it was hackers. Now we seem to know the actual reason. However, people are piling on HBox for this, and I think that is the worst thing that people can do in this situation, because HBox, while being the one to supply most of the funds for the tournament, organizing the tournament, putting together players, everything like this, running the tournament, streaming the whole thing, and then HBox gets blamed for what seems to be a mistake, or somebody at least on HBox's team had some sort of involvement in accidentally putting in the wrong stuff on Start.gg, or accidentally linking it to the wrong tournament, or whether this is a Start.gg problem. The fact of the matter is that HBox should not be the one to blame in this situation, and HBox should not be the one that's going to get piled upon, which unfortunately is going to happen. The fact that HBox is running this tournament and he's the main guy behind it means that he's going to be the scapegoat for all of this anger. And I think it really goes to show, because HBox, he said, I'll probably take a step back a bit and spend some time with family and friends. before he goes to CEO. And I think this makes this kind of explains the whole situation here. That HBox is kind of, it's just he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. The fact that he was the main guy. And he didn't really, this was his first time running a Street Fighter tournament, right? Running a tournament outside of the Smash scene where he's really known in a kind of new scene, and this happening is, it's pretty bad look. Unfortunately, it is a bad look. And he's probably not going to do another Street Fighter tournament again for a while just because of this. And, that sucks for the Street Fighter community, and that sucks for him just not being able to branch out. But I think people piling on HBox is the worst thing you could possibly do. I think people don't understand how much HBox does, especially for the Smash community. Like, if you just saw HBox's tweets from the Smash community side and you were just, like, commenting on HBox and, like, piling on just from the Smash community, you're not even in the Street Fighter community, I think it's really scummy to do that, honestly. HBox is one of the only people that consistently makes Ultimate content anymore. He's the only person that's streaming Ultimate almost every single night, putting in hours and hours of grueling online tournaments, doing this every single night, pretty much. And you can say, it's his job, whatever. He's the only person that does this. He's the only person that streams Ultimate consistently and pulls views and keeps the game going, running these online tournaments. I mean, he basically provides players like Sonics who get to compete in these coin boxes. I mean, he's providing like whole paychecks. He's providing these insane prize pools that we've never seen before in Smash before this, and he's doing it every week. And I think the fact that people do not truly value what HBox does for the Smash community, especially the state of the Smash community right now, I think it's ridiculous that people would use this as an opportunity, especially even like haters of HBox, to use this unfortunate misstep as an opportunity to like pile on the guy. I think is really scummy. If you want to pile on anybody, pile on like Start GG for not closing their tournaments after like a day, right? There's no reason a set is going to take more than a day, right? Start GG should know this, and they should fix their website because it's just a busted website. It doesn't work. It's not a good website. People know this, but people will instead blame HBox for this whole situation unfolding, and I do think it's really unfortunate because this is just a stupid situation in general, right? It didn't seem to be, at least from what we've seen so far, there didn't seem to be any malicious intent, definitely on the side of HBox, but at least from anybody in the behind team, I don't think anything else will come out of this other than the fact that it was a pretty screwed up mistake to happen. It was just really unlucky that this happened, because apparently, it pulled the exact pronouns out of a bunch of players that were at that Heavens Arena number 13, right? It just decided to pull Black Twins pronouns and put them as both players. So, obviously there's going to be always a little bit of suspicion and a little bit of fishiness about the whole situation. But it revolving around HBox and then people not noticing it for a whole set, I think it's ridiculous to blame HBox. If you want to blame anybody, I think you should start raising awareness for tournament organizers to read chat more. Like Twitch chat, when they're watching a tournament and they start saying stuff in chat, most of the time it won't get picked up until 10 minutes after it's all started, and by that time it's just the entire chat saying it when they finally notice, because I'm sure there were people in the Twitch chat that noticed it before anybody else did. Because the Twitch viewers are so much more attentive than a lot of the people that actually are just chilling, playing the game. Even the players themselves are probably too focused to actually realize that their pronouns on screen have been changed to this. So it's ridiculous overall. First, that nobody caught it as soon as it went up. There should definitely be somebody who's monitoring those types of things, moderating the on-screen go-abouts of everything should be a given for these tournaments. And whether they exist or not, they should exist from now on. There's no reason that this should ever get through. Like the Punk to God was saying, there's no reason that this should get to a stream. There should be at least a check beforehand that verifies, or if you really have to, just input them manually. It's going to be a lot harder, but if you really truly want to avoid something like this happening, I feel like you have to do that. There's no way to you can't let this happen again. If this happened again, then there would be cause to concern. Maybe they are doing this maliciously, but at this point, I think it's scummy. Don't blame HBox for this. I think piling on one person especially the tournament organizer who's providing the funds, the prize pool, and all of this, streaming it for everybody, I think is dumb. But overall, yeah, this situation was really crazy. I saw this for the first time. I didn't even believe what people were saying until I actually watched the VOD. And everything revolving around it, it was just pretty crazy. But overall, yeah. What are you guys' thoughts on this? Do you think that, whose fault do you really think this is? And why is it start.gg's? But with that all out of the way, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.